Thank you for taking the time to read to our students.
Good job.
Good morning, Hoover. My name is Karen. We are from Miss Ward's class. This episode is about benefits of reading. Why is reading good for you? What can we get about reading? What if I don't have a book to read? Our staff will answer these questions later. But first, the Hoover news. As you know, last week, schools around the country were busy celebrating Dr. Seuss's birthday. We will have some pictures for you at the end of this episode. Good morning. We are here today to ask a few people about their favorite book. Good morning.
Good morning.
What is your name?
Stephanie Zapalak.
Do you have a favorite book?
I do. I love Green Eggs and Ham. I used to read it all the time when I was little.
Why is that your favorite book?
It brings back memories. My dad used to read it to me, and it was really fun. And this morning at home, I was reciting a lot of the words to it. I still remember it.
I do have a favorite book. It is called The Giving Tree.
Why is that your favorite book?
Because it taught me to think outside of myself and think of others and the gifts that I am given in my life.
Do you have a favorite book?
I absolutely have a favorite book.
What is it?
It is Music of the Primes by Marcus de Satoy. It's a math book. I like math.
Why is that your favorite book?
Well, because it talks about the history of mathematics and the prime numbers, which are numbers that are only divisible by themselves in one. And it's just this amazing story of just learning and knowledge and how everything today is based on prime numbers, like all of our credit cards. It's pretty incredible and fun. I'm a dork.
Thank you for taking the time to read to our students.
Absolutely. I love Dr. Seuss and I love Hoover Elementary. And Rotary Rules. Yay. Thank you. Okay.
I do have a favorite book. My favorite book is When You Give a Mouse a Cookie.
Why is that your favorite book?
Well, it's a very impelling story about drive and getting something done. You know, you can never have a cookie without a glass of milk, and the mouse went through great lengths in order to get that cup of milk.
I do. It's Green Eggs and Ham.
Why is that your favorite book?
Because it talks about people wanting to explore their limits and they have to try things in order to know if they like them. And it's a beautiful message.
I just read The Lorax, which is about keeping the environment safe, and it was pretty good, so I might have a new favorite.
Thank you for taking the time to read to our students.
Thank you for having me.
What's your name?
Elizabeth? Carmen?
Do you have a favorite book?
Yes, it's All You and Me. Yeah, Wonder.
Why is that your favorite book?
Because it shows you to be kindest. It's talking about kindness.
Thank you. My name is Kristen. Next week, March 5 through 9, will be Parents and Teachers Conference Week. We will have modified days during this week. Students, make sure you give your parents your conference schedule and show up in time for your conference. These conferences are important because...
Now time for this month in history.
Sophia. In 1847, telephone inventor Alexander Graham Bell was born in Scotland. Bell and his father were involved in teaching deaf persons to speak. Bell developed an entrance in vibratory movements as a method of electricity transferring sounds. His very first sentence spoken in a newly invented telephone on March 10, 1876 was to his assistant, Mr. Come here, I want you. I have a call. Hello? However. Good morning, Hoover. My name is Giselle. This is our skinny on science about the benefits of reading. Did you know that reading turns your brain on? Reading stimulates regions in the brain as if you're living the experience of what you're reading about. Reading gives you a happiness boost with the use of your imagination. You can fly around New York City or fulfill your quest of reaching the Antarctic. Reading also helps your brain gray matter to grow. That means your brain makes connections, which in turn makes you smarter.
Also, reading expands your mind. According to experts, one of the biggest benefits of reading is you come to know other people in other societies outside the bubble of one's own individuality. So, what are you waiting for? Grab a book and start making your brain happy. This has been our Skinny on Science on the benefits of reading. My name is Leah. Goodbye and happy reading.
This poem is called I Opened the Book by Julian Donaldson. I opened the book and in I strolled. Nobody can find me. I left my chair, my house, and my robe. My town and my robe behind me. I'm wearing a cloak. I slipped on a ring. I swallowed a magic potion. I fought with a dragon, dined with a king. I died in a bottomless ocean. I opened the book and made some friends. I shared their tears and laughter. I followed the road and its bumps and bends to the happily ever after. I finished my book and now I came. A cloak can no longer hide me. My chair and my house are just the same, but I have no books inside me. But I have a book inside me. My name is Jose.
Hello, Hoover Hornets. My name is Enrique. Have you ever felt trapped thinking there is no way out? Then all of a sudden someone comes along to show you a path? A path that you can use to get out of your situation. Storm Reeves grew up in Native America. Migrants camp in the northwest part of the U.S. Watch as she tells the story of how books opened her world and let her leave the migrants' camps, eventually leading to a career helping others find and enjoy books.
The conditions were pretty terrible. I once told someone that I learned to fight with a knife long before I learned how to ride a bicycle. And when you are grinding day after day after day, there is no room in you for hope. You don't even know it exists. There's nothing to aspire to except filling your hungry belly. That's how I was raised. When I was 12, a bookmobile came to the fields. And you have to understand that I wasn't allowed to have books because books are heavy. And when you're moving a lot, you have to keep things just as minimal as possible. So when I first saw this big vehicle on the side of the road and it was filled with books, I immediately stepped back. Fortunately, when the staff member saw me, kind of waved me in, said, "These are books and you could take one home." I'm like, "What's the catch?" And he explained to me there was no catch. Then he asked me what I was interested in. And the night before the bookmobile had come, in the camps, there was an elder who was telling us about the day that Mount Rainier blew up. So I told the bookmobile person that I was a little nervous about the mountain blowing up. And he said to me, "The more you know about something, the less you will fear it." And he gave me a book about volcanoes. And then I saw a book about dinosaurs. I said, "Oh, that looks neat." So he gave me a book about dinosaurs. and I took them home and I devoured them. I didn't just read them, I devoured them. And I came back in 2 weeks and had more questions. And he gave me more books, and that started it. That taught me that hope was not just a word, and it gave me the courage to leave the camps. That's where the books made the difference. By the time I was 15, I knew there was a world outside of the camps. I believed I could find a place in it, and I did.
Our guest interview of this week is Miss Betty Valera. Miss Valera works here in Sacer with Miss Esqueda. She started working for the district in 1983. Watch this.
Good morning. My name is Sadie. I'm sitting here with Miss Valeria. Good morning, Miss Valeria.
Good morning, Sadie.
Thank you for your time to be here today. Please tell me what your job title is and what you did.
My job title here at Hoover, I am an autism paraprofessional, and I work in the special ed program. And some of my duties here at work are to tutor individual students and work in a group setting. I work with them on reading, writing, math. I also supervise the students on and off the bus and outside at recess and lunchtime and different activities through the day, and I make sure that they are safe.
Do you think you will stay at this job for a long time?
Yes, I love my job. My job here working with the children is my passion, so yes, I believe so.
What has been the most challenging thing about your job?
The most challenging thing working in special education is working with students with severe behavior. But because of the Santa Ana Unified, they've sent me to many trainings for intervention with behavior students. So it has helped me control and modify the students' behavior.
Who has been the most important person in your life? Can you tell me about him or her?
The most important person in my life is my mother. My mother is the most loving, caring woman, very kind, and has sacrificed many things in life because of me and my siblings.
What has been the most happiest moment of your life, the saddest?
The most happiest moment, I have more than one, but I'm going to say the birth of my 3 children. And the saddest is the death of my father. I was only 15 when I lost my dad.
How would you like your students to remember you?
I hope that they remember me as a caring and kind person.
What are your hopes for the students in your class?
My hopes for them are to succeed and be successful and to the fullest potential in their life.
Last, do you have a favorite book? What is it? Why is it your favorite?
My favorite book right now that I'm reading is from Joel Osteen, and he's an inspirational pastor. And the name of the book is You Can, You Will. It's a motivational book.
Thank you for your time to be here with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Sadie, for that interview. Now here's Kristen for our quote of the week.
2.
Stories are light. Light is precious in the world so dark. Begin at the beginning. Tell Gregory a story, make some light. This quote was from one of Kate DiCamilo's book, The Tale of Despero. Kate DiCamilo is the author of countless children's books, including Flora and Ulysses because of Winn-Dixie and the Miraculous Journey of Edwin Tulane. She is one of the best authors of this children's book. This has been our presentation for this week. On behalf of Miss Ward's class, my name is Karen.
And my name is Kristen.
Remember, reading makes you culturally and globally and socially smart. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.